what's interesting to me is that both of those things, not only the P-Rail that you did, it kind of hit the nerve with probably my favorite guitar player, which is Ty Tabor, King's X. He started using them, and I was like, what is that? What the hell is a P-Rail? Then I understood it, and then it also made sense to me, because he basically was playing single coils for the majority time of his career. He liked single coils way better than he does humbuckers. So, but then again, he was playing elite strats, and those tend to be like really noisy and terrible, to be honest. Yeah. And then every light and every kind of electronic environment is gonna blow this pickup totally up. So for me, it made sense.
It was a problematic guitar.
It was a total. But it created a lot of iconic tones, but in practice, it was very, very it was a very unnecessary and
yes.
It wasn't a problem solver.
Our name are both Frank. But like you, I was cutting my teeth on King's X, when the first album came out. He's also one of my favorite guitar players of all time. Yeah. I love King's X, and I was just with Doug, yesterday, because I'm going to play a little lap steel on Wednesday. Yeah, just some live. It's like a live jam event, where they go in LA. They, cycle through a bunch of,
nice
celebrity, musicians, and then somehow I'm there as well. But they, so I'm going to do that. So I became friends with those guys over the years. But the P-Rails thing, that was a really, really heavy moment for me, because P-Rails had just launched, and all of I would say fighting. I don't mean it in a toxic way, but all the fighting to get the P-Rails released. Even including getting them released that first year. So I was there in, the spring of 07. They came out in January and NAMM of 08. That's a fast cycle time for a brand new tech as well. So just pushing and pushing. And then, again, when I say, some people internally be like, why don't we just release them at Summer NAMM? Or why don't we just, why don't we kick the can down the road till next year? No, let's get these out. So then they release in January, and it's, they're going well. And it's Summer NAMM, and I'm walking down the aisle, and I look over and I see P-Rails in the guitar. I was like, oh, that's cool. And I look up at the 12th fret, and there's the X logo at the 12th fret. That's John Guilford's booth, and he was making guitars for Ty Tabor, and they had the P-Rails in it. Now, in that moment, I don't think I had ever met Ty yet. So I wasn't a part of that happening. That was an organic thing that happened outside of me. And I met him there because he was at the show, and so we talked a lot. But he had been using them. He goes, I was recording an album. He goes, I re-recorded all the tracks once the P-Rails guitar got to me. He goes, I just I scrapped them all and re-recorded. So that was high praise from Ty, but it was also this really, really serendipitous validation and full circle thing. This is a guy that I'd been listening to for all those years, and somehow he's influenced me in my playing, or what my ears like to hear in a guitar tone, as part of the all the different tones that we all like. And then I make a product, and even within the product, I'm over there fighting for no, it has to have this many extra turns on it. Well, that's going to be a lot. I know, we're just going to put tape around the outside, And I'm doing all that to make it sound the way it sounds. And then he just found it. He decided to use it. That was a crazy moment for me. Like I said, it was validation, but it was also very cosmic or something. It would have been not as great of a story if I had released P-Rails and then immediately sent him an email on his MySpace page or whatever.
No, yeah.
It's like, you got to try these. I think you're going to love them, Not that there's anything wrong with that either, self-promotion, but it just wasn't that. It was something that I came upon and discovered, and I was like, wow, That was a great moment. And he has Fluence in some of his guitars now too. A couple of Strats.
Really? Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, he likes them. He bounces around between a lot of Les Pauls and Strats now. So he's got some, Strats made in Mexico that have stock pickups and some that have Fishmans. But yeah, he's, I figure if he liked some other stuff I made, maybe he'd probably like some new stuff I made, or came up with, or
Makes
helped
sense.
design.